Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Muscatine Today Show. I am so glad that you guys are joining us today. We have a lot to talk about, a charity that we all know about, and today we are going to talk all about getting that relaunched and really bringing that focus back here into the community. I'm excited to talk about that and just really refocus and talk about some of the things that they're going to be doing here in the community in the near future. I also have someone from the Community Foundation on the show today, but before we get started with our guests, I really want to thank our sponsors of the show, who, without them, we wouldn't have this platform and the ability to really focus on all of the great people and all of the great things happening here in Muscatine. So thanks so much to Muscatine Power and Water, Rivo Plumbing and Heating, Becky Insurance and Financial Services, Impact Life Blood Center, our friends over at Lutheran Living, and of course over at Toyota of Muscatine. So grateful for their sponsorship. Impact Athletic Performance and Nutrition now. They're at their new location at the Muscatine Mall. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Suntan City Muscatine, Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine, and then of course our friends here at Hy-Vee. We're excited to be here in front of Wahlburgers, who, if you didn't know, tonight I think they're having an event. So you might want to find out all about that. That's happening tonight at Wahlburgers, and if you haven't visited the restaurant, it's pretty yummy, and I hear that now kids eat free every night. So just a little helpful hint for maybe those moms and dads that don't want to cook this evening or tomorrow night, or I don't know, maybe all next week. But you can come, bring the kids and they'll eat free. But let's get started. So I have three guests with us. I am so excited to have you guys all on the show. And I think we'll start with Lynsey here, because she's here with the Community Foundation, and you can kind of introduce the charity and talk a little bit about how they kind of are affiliated with the Community Foundation and how that all works.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. Actually, we're excited to be here again. As anyone who has watched the Community Foundation on your show before, the Community Foundation really works with a lot of partners and organizations in the community to really just help make Muscatine a better place to live and work, and just a thriving community. And so we're excited to be here today with Muscatine Charities. They're one of the funds at the Community Foundation who saw a need and turned that passion into reality and created now what is Muscatine Charities, and they've done a ton of great work in the community and are relaunching those efforts now.
Yeah. So I can remember hearing about Muscatine Charities like long before really getting involved with the community through whether it be like the radio station or my work here with Discover Muscatine. It was just something that I think people knew about out in the community. It's been a big thing for quite some time, and so it's awesome that it just continues to be such a huge helpful asset in the community. And I love to hear that after. I mean, it's been a rough couple years for all charities, for nonprofits. It's hard to have a fundraiser. It's been hard to have a fundraiser and do all of those events that we all love so much. But it's good to have you guys back and have you guys on the show, and to hear that you guys are like gearing up and are ready to like really get started again. So Tom, I guess, do you want to talk a little bit about the board and kind of like getting some young blood on there, and really like, I don't know, introducing some new people on the board and kind of introducing them into the charity and kind of getting re-involved in the community after a couple years of
hiatus.
Yeah, I know.
We're gone.
I know. I don't
gone.
like to say the word.
I know,
right?
it's terrible. I don't like it
I
either.
don't even want to talk about it.
It's not fun to talk about it.
Yep.
we have to go forward,
Yep.
and that's what we're going to do. And
Yeah.
so I feel like we're almost relaunching
Yep.
Muscatine Charities. Muscatine Charities started 23 years ago,
Wow.
but we've been non-existent the last 2 years, except through some cash solicitation through the mail.
Yep.
We have not had any of our events, our golf events, our raffle events, and our evening social events. So our revenue is down for sure, which saddens us because we cannot help the people that need our help here in our community.
Right.
So we're going to kind of relaunch ourselves and make Muscatine a better place.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And so I loved when before the show we were talking, and you said that you and Steve were kind of like the old guns. You guys have been part of this kind of since the beginning, and I love that you said that because you guys saw a need. You I guess went to these golf events. You were part of charities. You know, just people, fundraisers out there. We all go to different fundraisers in the community, and some of them are very similar. They all have needs. You know, there are tons of nonprofits, tons of different things, whether it's an individual that has a need or whether they're different nonprofits. And for you, you saw, you know, these people having different golf events,
Right.
and they were just these individual golf events.
Right.
And you guys put your heads together and said, why don't we get together and do something a little bigger?
Right. You know, as the golf professional at the country club, that was kind of one of the mainstays back in the, as you would say, the middle 90s to the early 2000s, is that golf became so popular that everybody wanted to utilize it as a
Right.
platform to raise money for their organizations.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw some events come in, and, you know, you want to see them be successful, but when you only
course.
can get 20 to 25 or 30 participants per an event, they weren't making the money that they really deserve to make to help
Yeah.
that particular organization. And through the eyes of 2 or 3 of our club members at Geneva, after an evening out, conversations kind of started to hit about what can we do to actually make a difference. And
Yeah.
Tom came up with the idea for Muscatine Charities Incorporated, and there was 3 or 4 of us members at the club that just said, we're in and let's go for this. And you know, it's been a tremendous asset to our community to really be able to go back to the community and say, every dollar that we raise through your personal contribution goes to the charities. And if you think about that in a perspective across the country with the different organizations that raise funds, most of them can't say that.
Yeah.
And we're very proud that for 23 years we can say that every dollar that we've raised for Muscatine Charities has gone back to the charities. So,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And we know how much work and dedication goes into, you know, not only running a nonprofit and, you know, but doing these events. And, you know, it takes money to put on a good event, and it takes a lot of hard work to put on a nice event that people are going to want to come and be a part of. But you have a good group of individuals who just want to do good in our community, and that's
Right.
how you've been able to just give back 100% of the funds that you raise at these events.
right. I would tell you at the peak of Muscatine Charities golf events, before we added our evening social activities in the fall, you know, between probably the 14 to 16 board members that we had that were a part of the tournament and the day of activities, we also had about anywhere between 38 and 44 volunteers that came out and participated with us. And you know, you can't make an event like that go without the help of the volunteers.
Yeah.
And you know, over the course of the 21 golf tournaments that we had, 20 golf tournaments that we've had a number of continuous volunteers that have continued to come and be a part of it, and the call goes out and they answer it. And so it's great to say that not only do we give back to our community, but our community is giving back to Muscatine Charities in the sense that they're volunteers and helpers too.
Yeah, so I think you know, we talked a little bit about the fundraisers that you guys do with the golf tournaments and things like that, but let's talk a little bit about how Muscatine Charities gives back, because it's in a ton of different ways. Whether it's, you know, giving back to individual nonprofits that may, you know, have a need, but what are some of the things that you guys have done to give back to Muscatine? What are some of the things that you guys have given to over the years that you can just think of? I know I have a list too.
List of charities.
Yep. So some different charities. Big Brothers Big Sisters. They were just on yesterday.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. The YMCA has.
Yep.
I think they have 4 programs out there that we support.
Yep.
You know, our mission statement is to make a child's life, a senior's life, or a handicapped, disabled person's life better right now. You know, we're not going to build you a new building. We don't like to pay salaries.
Yep.
But what we like to do is find something, a niche out there that can definitely help somebody and make a difference in their life right now.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind is there's a child down at Jefferson School, Central Middle School, I can't remember which school.
Jefferson.
And they had a difficult time, and we bought this little iPad thing to help them with their
speech.
Yeah. And it made a huge difference. Now we bought it through the school system and let the school system own it, but that child and future children will be able to use that.
Yeah.
And that's just one little thing that we did, but there's a lot of big programs that you know that we've done. And in 2001, which is 2 years after we initiated this big event, we started our Muscatine preschool scholarship funding.
Yeah.
And we have proudly put over 2,500 children in preschool on scholarship and partial scholarship funding. And just recently we started with Muscatine Preschool Transportation, paying for transportation, which, you know, it's hard enough. Some parents have a hard enough time just getting their kids up and ready for school, but to get them there is another big issue. So we're just trying to tackle that issue too, and trying to make it easy that we can get every child in Muscatine County to school, in preschool.
Yeah.
So.
I remember preschool days and thinking about, like, wait a second, how am I supposed to, like, leave work to, you know, especially those half days, and, you know, when they don't start right at 8, it's like, wait, I have to be to work at 8. How am I supposed to, like, you know? So those are amazing ideas. And when we were talking again before the show, and you mentioned, you know, things like, what would these kids be doing if they weren't at preschool? You know, who knows? Who knows what they would be doing? They probably wouldn't be learning necessarily and getting ready for coming school years and getting prepared for all of that. So I love the mission statement and the fact that you're helping people right now, you know, and those are some things that a lot of nonprofits, you know, can't necessarily do. You know, it's something that they have to fill out a grant, and, you know, it takes time, and so it's nice to have access to being able to help someone right now.
Right.
I love that. So today it's really about relaunching and telling people Muscatine Charities is back. It's been on a little hiatus, just like a lot of things, you know, but you said you had your first meeting.
Had our first board meeting last week.
Yep.
We have our second board meeting coming up next week. So I'm just trying to stay in touch with everybody, and everybody's working hard to progress and make things happen. And in March, we're going to have our first little raffle that we raise some money for to pay expenses, so that we can tell everyone that their donation to Muscatine Charities, 100% of that goes to the charities. There's no administration costs or whatever. We pay those through this other little fundraiser we have, and it's very proud for us to all sit back and say, listen, there's no administration costs. We're volunteering our time, and it's not just time. It gets into your life. You live it sometimes. So I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Yep, absolutely. So I know in the last couple of years you guys have been under the Community Foundation umbrella to kind of help with that. And Community Foundation, in so many ways, has helped organizations like yourselves just kind of be that umbrella. And so grateful to have the Community Foundation in our community. But like I said, I remember for years and years that Muscatine Charities has been around, and that you guys have done a lot of great things in our community, and I'm so glad that that's going to continue, and that you're bringing on some of these other folks so that we can make sure that the work continues on for years and years and years to come, because we do have a great community.
We do.
Right? And I,
Right.
like you said earlier, when you guys reach out and say we need some volunteers, Muscatine will come out and they'll volunteer.
Yep.
And answer that call, and they'll show up to the golf fundraisers and stuff when you reach out and say that the need is there. So let's make sure that Muscatine Charities continues and is able to put out that call.
Yeah.
Right.
I am very excited about this, and I can't wait to learn more about Muscatine Charities. So if you guys want to learn more about it, absolutely reach out. What are the best ways for them to reach out if they want to either make a donation, or if they want to find out about upcoming events, or if they want to maybe be a part of it? What are the best ways for them to find out information like that?
Yeah, Muscatine Charities does have a website, so you're welcome to search that. Go to their website. They have a ton of information about their grants, some organizations they've supported, how to donate. There's a link to donate right on their website. You can also contact the Community Foundation. So as a fund of the Community Foundation, we're able to accept the donations on behalf of Muscatine Charities and do all that.
Yeah. So online or contact the Community Foundation and find out more information about ways to be involved, and obviously look for some of those fun events that are going to be coming up here this year, and be a part of it, no matter how big or how small. Every little bit, every way that you can be a part of this matters and counts. And I say that about every event, every charity, everything, whether you're volunteering your time or making a monetary donation. All of those things matter a lot and really make this work.
For sure.
So please reach out and find out more information about Muscatine Charities, and be looking out this year for all of the big things to come.
Yes.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for coming on and talking a little bit about Muscatine Charities, and thank you to the new board of directors.
Yes,
And
we're excited.
it's exciting to hear that this is relaunching. So thank you guys for coming on today, and for you, Lynsey, for inviting them on. I appreciate that. We're going to go to a quick break, and then I'll be back in just a second to talk about some other things coming up in Muscatine.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
It's time for an update from the Not So Late Show with Austin, brought to you by Unity Point Health.
Listen up, everyone. I've got some news. Things are still kind of crazy out there, and the pandemic is still going on. And it's hard to keep people healthy. And right now, things are really tough for healthcare workers. There are a lot of people needing help with their health. They are working very hard. They're tired. And they are working extra shifts. Well, that would be like when you just get right out of school. You have to go back and do it all over again. Ugh. So there's something you need to know. It's time to be kind. Healthcare workers are doing the best they can to help you. They just need your help too. Take care of yourself however you can with your vaccinations and your healthy habits. But if you get sick, go see your doctor. If you have to wait, be patient. Be a patient patient. They're real people just like you. And do you know why they're working so hard? For you. So show them a little love, or at least a little bit of kindness. That's one way we can all feel better. Okay, that's all I've got, everyone. Stay safe out there and remember to be kind to healthcare workers.
This has been a special update from the Not So Late Show with Austin. Good night. We'll see you next time.
All right, so Lutheran Living is our sponsor of our national days, national holidays. I think there's a national holiday for like literally everything. But today is National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. And thankfully, Hy-Vee has you covered with cream cheese brownies. And these are actually one of my favorite things here. So I came in and these were just sitting here like taunting me. But these are delicious. Come and celebrate the national holiday. Hy-Vee has you covered with that. Also, like I said, kids eat free at Wahlburgers. Don't forget about that. There is definitely... Why are you guys laughing at me? What? Oh, I'm touching my mic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're listening. Lutheran Living reached out and said that they are looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in anything, like anything from playing bingo, manicure Mondays, that sounds fun. I need a manicure, so don't look. One-on-one activities that are done throughout the week and can be done on your schedule. You can contact Taylor out there at Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Just call out to Lutheran Living and let them know that you want to volunteer, and they would be so happy to have you. And so, like I said, tons of different ways that you can become involved with Lutheran Living and play bingo. I mean, that sounds like fun. Or do a manicure Monday. And they are looking for volunteers now. So call out, ask for Taylor, and let him know that you want to volunteer with some of the residents out there and just go out and have a good time. It can be once a week, it can be once a month, it can just be random days that you can volunteer, but make sure you give them a call and go out and have some fun with some of their residents. I am so glad you guys joined us. I hope that you learned a lot about Muscatine Charities today and are excited, just like I am, about the relaunch and all of the success that they've already had in our community. They've already done so much, and I'm excited that they are going to be continuing that work here in our community. So thank you so much for joining us today on the show. We will see you again tomorrow on Muscatine Today's show. But until then, don't forget that kindness is free. So spread that stuff wherever you go.
A beautiful tan lets your true colors shine bright, so you can feel free to be your silly, fun-loving self. Let yourself shine at Suntan City.
Here at Total Muscatine, we believe it's important to be strong supporters of our local community.
And that's why we donate thousands upon thousands of dollars to local Muscatine charities each year.
It's the reason why all of our employees are local to the area and have a vested interest in our community.
We value our customers, so when you shop here at Toyota of Muscatine, you'll be treated like family.
So remember, when you shop with Toyota of Muscatine, not only are you sure to get great service, but you're also supporting local.